So we hear that Shubman Gill is out of the squad and Ishan Kishan is in the squad. Welcome to another episode at the Two Batsman Theory. What a week it's been. Last Tuesday, we saw about 359 players in the IPL being auctioned. On Friday evening, BCCI came out with the 2026 World Cup squad, which India will be playing both in India and Sri Lanka. We are the host nations. A lot of things to see, a lot of factors, a lot of social media buzz about why Shubman Gill was left out and on what basis Ishan Kishan came in. Rinku Singh, he hit the winning runs against Pakistan in the Asia Cup, where he will fit, and all of the things that we'll be discussing today. First, let's take a look at the squad. We have Surya Kumar Yadav, Abhishek Sharma, Tilak Verma, Sanju Samson, Shivam Dube, Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya, Harshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah, Harshit Rana, Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, and Rinku Singh. What a game. What a team. Let's start with the bowling department. I think the two bowlers that will feature in almost all matches, I think, would be Varun Chakravarti and Arshdeep Singh. Now, Jasprit Bumrah is our premium top fast bowler. We do see that he has some injury concerns now and then, but hoping that he plays the major matches against Pakistan, and if we qualify, which I'm sure we will, play the semi-finals and possibly the final. Varun Chakravarti, top class performance against South Africa in the final T20, and he's been the amongst the wicket takers in all the games that India has played in the recent years in the major tournaments and helping us lift the trophy. Now, Kuldeep Yadav also being a spinner really helps because in previous games that we've seen, if Varun Chakravarti is able to contain from one end and then people try to hit, as we saw even in the South Africa series and even in the previous series, that they try to attack Kuldeep Yadav and they might get out within the ring itself, trying to take him on or long off. That's where I think even on days that Varun Chakravarti is very economical, but even if he takes one or two wickets and tightens up on one end, Kuldeep Yadav or your other spinners like Washington Sundar or Akshar Patel could tighten up at the other end, take possible wickets which Varun might not take because of his tight bowling. So our bowling is pretty sorted. We also have Harshit Rana, who now has shown us that who can hit some fours and sixes if need be towards the end. But my premium two bowlers, fast bowlers, would be Jasprit Bumrah, Arshdeep Singh, and Varun Chakravarti. So these are my three bowlers who will be in my featuring in my playing 11. Let's come to the all important batting. Shubman Gill, who was the vice captain of the T20 squad, has been left out. Now, if we see the numbers through this year, he has not performed well. He's got some injury concerns. He was injured in the Test series against South Africa. Then he came back, and then he played a couple of T20s. He didn't score much. He got again a small niggle, and he didn't play the final game. So I think now we're with Gambhir as coach, we're trying to see that the star culture and the hero worship is something that he doesn't like. So it's purely based on performance, and we need Shubman Gill for one days and test matches for the longer format. So I don't think we should bother too much or worry too much of why he was dropped. And now that Akshar Patel is elevated as vice captain, he will feature. He will also add depth to your batting, and your left arm spin is a very good fielder as well. So batting wise, if we see my playing 11, I'll be opening with Abhishek Sharma and Sanju Samson. My one down, 3, 4 will be Tilak Verma and Surya Kumar, interchangeable. My 5 and 6 will be Hardik, followed by Shivam Dube. I think I would rather have Hardik at number 5 because he could score quickly and he could really score those sixes, and his strike rate is a little better than Shivam Dube. So I would have Hardik Pandya at number 5, Shivam Dube at 6, and Akshar at 7. Now your 8, 9, and 10, 11. So we have 4 spots left. 8 and 9, I would have Washington Sundar just to give um, extra bowling option, and he's a fantastic batsman as well. Slog sweep. His even shots on the offside are very good. So if you're chasing a high total in places like Bombay, Delhi, I think Washington Sundar will play a very good and a very important knock. And then 9, 10, 11, Varun Chakravarti, Jasprit Bumrah, and Arshdeep Singh. Varun Chakravarti, I think, will be those 4 overs. I think most teams would find it very tough to play. And on the odd day that he goes for runs, like we saw when Pakistan scored against, they thought they sort of figured out against Jasprit Bumrah in the Asia Cup. Then at that time, I think bowlers like Akshar Patel, Washington Sundar, even Shivam Dube. We even opened with Shivam Dube on in the Asia Cup against Pakistan. So he's also turning out to be a very good bowler who can fill in for maybe 1 or 2 overs or even 3 overs when in absence of Hardik Pandya, if Hardik Pandya is going for runs. So we have very good bowling options. And batting, like I said, we have good depth. Now people talk about, oh, Jitesh Sharma has been left out. Let's just rewind back for for people like me who have been following cricket for a very long time. In the 90s, early 90s, Amol Mozumdar, this name. I think people who are ardent fans of the game would remember. Very young, bright, young talent, scored massive runs in domestic in the 92-93 season. He was to be picked for the Indian squad in 96 batch along with Lakshman and Dravid, but he somehow missed out. He went on to play for Mumbai Ranji for a very long time. He was a legend, and recently we know him as the coach of the women's cricket team who helped the women's team lift the World Cup. So there is Amol Mozumdar that happened in 96. He couldn't get picked for the national squad. Some years later, 2001, we will remember the names Vijay Bharadwaj from Karnataka, Sargopan Ramesh. Even though Sargopan Ramesh got a few chances, Vijay Bharadwaj was the man of the tournament.
99.
In the LG Cup. He couldn't play after that. Much later was Wasim Jafar. We also have to remember in 2011 World Cup, Rohit Sharma didn't find a place. So can we say that the 2011 squad was weak, or did we miss something there? Perfect team. We won the 2011 World Cup. Years down the line, 2021, Kuldeep Yadav could not make it to the 2021 T20 squad. He had played the 2019 50-over format. Does it mean that he was not a good bowler or he didn't have enough experience? No. And does it also show that the 2021 squad was weak? No. The point that I'm trying to make is over a long period of time, India has had exceptional talent for players who, and unfortunately, we can only have 11 players in the team. So even though you make very good performances and Abhimanyu Easwaran, he's amassing score and he's scored tons and tons of runs in domestic. And even though he's traveled to Australia and other tours that India have played abroad, he's been in the squad, but he's not able to find a chance. Same thing happened with Karun Nair as well. So the point that I'm trying to make is, yes, Ishan Kishan has been given in only because of the performance that he had inside Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Brilliant 100 in the finals, and he helped Jharkhand win the trophy. He also scored another 100 in the trophy inside Mushtaq Ali. So I'm happy that and even earlier in the Bujibaba tournament, he played well. So I'm happy that the domestic performances are looked at and based on which the elevation is happening. So Ishan Kishan coming into the team is good. It'll give a lot other players thinking that yes, if we perform well in now, we are going to start with Vijay Hazare Trophy in a very short in about 1 or 2 weeks time, Vijay Hazare Trophy. So people who perform there will get a nod in to maybe the one day team or test team. We have the red ball tournament that's coming in. So and we have the Ranji Trophy next year. So if a player is getting picked on his domestic performance, I think it's a very good sign for young players coming in, and rather than just having those small sparkles in IPL and then coming onto the big scene and not knowing how to handle pressure or how to play the long innings. So that way, I think Ishan Kishan making it into the squad is very good. He's just played. He knows how the conditions are. He's just been in red hot form. He's amassing runs, and he knows how it all happens here. He's played, and if we play in Bombay, Delhi, he could be. I'm not saying he'll be in the 11, but he'll be a backup if we have to replace Sanju Samson, or if you have to replace any other player in the playing 11, Ishan Kishan straight away walks in. Jitesh Sharma, yes, he's your long-term player. So what happened to Rohit Sharma after 2011 World Cup when he didn't play? We all know. What happened to Kuldeep Yadav, who did not make it to the 2021 squad? We all know. So it's just one tournament, and it's good that India has a happy. I call this a happy confusion because we have so much talent, and we can unfortunately accommodate only 11 players. So the Jitesh Sharma, of course, he'll be your um, he'll be your backup. He'll play a lot more tournaments going forward in 26 and maybe 27 World Cup. Who knows if he he could be your number one keeper. And if Rishabh Pant, if we have to have a backup for Rishabh Pant, he could be a number one keeper. So it's good. The only thing why people talk about Shubman Gill, and he did not he this whole year, his last 10 innings or so, his numbers are a bit dismal, and he's never he didn't score any big score in the T20 this year. Some injury niggle. So only reason he's been the vice captain and he's been dropped is making such waves and such noise, and people are talking about how can you drop a vice captain. But it's in hindsight, in retrospect, I think people will understand that he will get a good break. He will have a lot of rehab match time in the domestic season, and we need him for the India tour of England in July. That's in the test format and in the one day series. So it is okay to drop Shubman Gill, I think, and replace him with players like Ishan Kishan or even Sanju Samson. It's good. I mean, I don't find any reason that we have to be really worried. It's a strong, balanced team, depth in batting and very good bowling attack. Rinku Singh and another inclusion into the team where people thought he hit the winning runs against in the Asia Cup and against Pakistan, and we lifted the trophy. So his depth when it comes to playing, let's say number 7 or 8, and when it comes to those last 2-3 overs when you're chasing big sixes, yes, you can rely on Rinku Singh because he has the shots, especially beyond the bowler's head, long on, long off that V range, and also he can play the short ball, um, and he's done it. Yeah, and he has a lot of experience in the last few overs. So I think it's a good balanced side. Our bowling is very good. Our batting is very good. Wishing India a very very good tournament in 2026, and we hope to be defending the trophy. And let's see what happens. Thank you. We'll see you in another episode.